so, if you will. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Welcome all. All right. Call to order. So let's see. Barb's here. Barb?
Mm-hmm. I'm here.
Tim? Here. Steve here. And John, you're here. And we got Regulo here. All right, man. Terrific. We got enough to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Citizens comment period. Comment from the citizens group. All right.
Just 1 minute, I think.
Turn on the equipment.
Maybe not. It's okay.
Yes.
Roll.
I know.
All right. Can we go through the citizens' comments? Any comments? None? Okay. We're good for that one. We got the minutes from the May 3rd meeting. Any comments, questions? All good? All right. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay. The big question here is the Federal Equipment and Supply sign.
So in your packets,
Yeah.
you will have the information for that. You've got some of the information that I sent to you, and I gave you some color copies
Thank you.
for the
Yes.
view of the sign. You received the application and
Real quick,
the pictures.
is it going on here or is it going up here? I wasn't sure where the arrow is. Here? Is this where the sign is?
I guess I would have Regulo answer that for you.
All right, so my question, Regulo, is it on the sign here or is it up on the wall? For the, this is the new sign, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is just a night view.
Yeah.
Same.
But it's going to be up here or this is
It'll
for
be on the
here?
building.
No, it's a wall sign attached to the building.
Okay, got it. All right. Helps me.
And I guess what I would do is, Regulo also sent us a,
I sent the staff report,
Yeah.
the resolution, and the review comments that I previously sent to the applicant.
All right, so if you will, just for the sake of us, what are some objections that people have relative to it?
No, just a brief introduction. This is a wall sign. All signs in the Franklin Industrial Park has to go for approval to the Economic Development Commission.
Yeah.
And then if the commission approve it, then the applicant will apply for a sign permit through our department. But the regulations that governs signs in the industrial park are the same of the municipal code that applies to the whole city. So there's just a difference in the process to get the approval. I reviewed the application for compliance with the municipal code, height, sign area, and it complies with the standards of the municipal code. We also send the application to other departments. We didn't receive any objections from other departments. So staff is recommending approval of this wall sign.
Gotcha.
Just an additional information that staff is also working on an ordinance that hopefully will be presented to you next month about changing that process and allow staff to administrative approve this type of sign, so we don't need to present each sign to the Economic Development Commission.
So basically, you want to kick us to the curb. That's,
For signs, because just to streamline the application process.
That hurts. You know, geez, you haven't been in how many meetings? You know, and now you come in and take us out of the picture.
You get to play with buildings and sites.
This is the most exciting we've had in a long time. This is pretty good, guys. Yeah. Well, okay, so at this point, you heard no objections to it? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I just have one question.
Mhm.
You notice the night view is, are the letters in the sign, are those neon? Will they shine at night?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
it is an illuminated sign.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay,
Mhm.
fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If there's anything you want to look at in be the last 3 pages of your packet, that's new information, I do believe. And one of them is the resolution.
Okay, but this here is what we're signing off on, or we're signing off on up here?
It's the same thing, but this is what you're signing off.
Yeah, so they get to put it up on the wall.
Right.
Right. Well, yeah, I did a site visit because there is a maximum sign area for the site. So I did a site visit. I found the monument sign that is already there.
Got it?
I just asked the applicant, okay, what is the area so we can have total area
Yep.
for the site, both signs. I mean, if this is approved, that will be in compliance with the total sign area for this site.
Okay.
The other question, what direction does that face? And is there there's no residential close by?
No, not at all. It's
I didn't
just
think so.
facing another property in the industrial park.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions, objections? That said?
I so move to approve.
What you have to do is you have to move to approve a resolution
Oh,
approving placement of a wall sign for Farrell Investments LLC, 161 South 54th Street, Farrell Investments LLC applicant. John
So
Sykes,
moved.
President.
so move. I won't read it again, but so move.
Right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Approved.
Regulo, does that meet your requirements?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
And my signature.
Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Yes.
Okay. So ayes
And
were-
we need Tim's signature on that
okay.
sheet of paper. You want to take that?
Absolutely.
I know this is after the fact, but did they start asking for this in September of last year? I just see a date here from 9/22.
Right, yeah, because they submitted an application first for a sign permit. Then we determined that before the sign permit, they need to go
Do
through
this.
this process.
It's been a
That's
long
why it was delayed.
Okay.
But it's been since September. They've been doing this.
No, this sign we received, well, for the sign review, we received in May,
Oh, I
this
see.
application.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
So you need a copy that doesn't have anything on the back of it? 'Cause what we just,
I think it's just one page, right?
right, but I
Yeah.
double-sided the
Right,
copies.
right. Yeah.
So,
No, for me, it's okay. Just
okay,
one
all right,
page.
very good. All right, that'll work.
Well, it's kind of cool. Now you know what we were approving too.
Well, thank you. Have
Very
a
well.
nice weekend.
You too.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming. Thanks for staying on a Friday.
Thanks, Ray Gang.
Thank you.
Okay. Time for update. So did you ever do the presentation to the,
I'm going to be doing that on 21st
of June?
of June. Yes, sir.
Okay.
They had another item on there. It was mobilized with FlexRide.
Right.
So they had them, and that's what bumped us. And then they squared a time away.
Right.
And I said, we're still flexible because you can't be there.
Right.
Anyways, so we'll be presenting.
Gotcha.
And then the following month, they'll have the BRT, Bus Rapid Transit folks
Okay.
from the Milwaukee Transit System.
Got it.
Actually, a representative of theirs. They're hiring someone to take the slings and arrows.
Gotcha.
so to speak.
So, the presentation is gonna be what we did in 22, what we're doing in 23, yes?
Correct.
All right.
And 24.
Can you give us a glimpse of what we?
I don't have it with me, no.
Oh, wait, can you just tell us? Because I mean, I don't,
Well-
I mean, would you guys like to hear what we're doing in 23?
We talked about it at the last meeting, and no, I haven't
Yeah,
got it
you
all,
did talk about
all completed.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were looking at my notes from the last meeting. You know, we're looking at companies like Selco coming in, Pretzilla, Corporate Business Parks, Coco, working with some of the other projects that we've been putting forward, like the RFPs.
Yeah.
So, and then we're working on strategic planning.
Right.
You know, we've got quite a bit of project work to talk about because you know, we've got HSA finishing up. We've got Saputo finishing. Wangart's filling. They have another site just to the south of their current site. So we've got quite a few projects to talk about and initiatives.
What is the timing on Saputo? When are we going to be done with that?
Construction should be done, you know, by the end of this year, and then they'll be working on operations. You know, getting their operations functioning. I'm sure there'll be some equipment to put in the beginning of next year, but I would guess that they're going to be doing some test runs in February, January, because they're cutting and wrapping. Sorry.
Yeah.
Complicated part about that is the packaging, wrapping.
Got it.
So that machinery needs calibrated and operates in very.
Yeah. Got it. And then we've got Carmel Labs. You guys had a meeting?
Yeah, we've had multiple meetings over multiple times.
Well, recent. How we doing?
Well, that's actually a confidential process, and I can't say that in open session.
So what do we need to do to have a session? Tell us.
What we'll need to do is just start including the opportunity to go to, and it's an ordinance, well, not ordinance, it's phrased at standard. It says, you know, the Economic Development Commission may go into, according to the statute, to talk about industries and commercial ventures.
So
With confidence.
we actually put that in.
We can do that.
I mean, it might be nice to know what we got going. You know.
Well, but if we get information in a closed session,
Yeah.
we're not
You
free
can't
to
answer any
share it.
questions. So you're,
No, we can't share it.
No, I understand, but it
Yeah.
might be saying, did you have any knowledge of it? And the answer is no. You know, those kinds of things. Kind of say, doing. I have them. Okay, if you don't mind. That way at the next one, we can talk about it. Okay, cool. Okay. Anything else on there from an update?
well, we have a couple of projects. Flex Building Developer. We got the initial building of 300,000 square feet. So that should be in the upper 20s investment. And so working with them on site design, specifically access, streets design, and looking at the permits that we need to tackle. And it's not an easy site to work all that into. And so we'll continue to work with them to get that done. We've got another manufacturer for looking at a location, about 200 jobs, high 30s for investment, about a 230,000 square foot building, negotiating incentives with them and refining designs on the site. They're going to.
So if this was a closed session,
On these two, yes. Yes, some, you know, I haven't experienced it here yet, and most of the time when they're starting to talk to the city specifically, negotiating and discussing the project, at that point, for this group. I think we could talk about it in session. For some folks, they don't want anybody else discussing it except me and the mayor, and sometimes the mayor and the director of administration, and I don't even.
Yeah.
So until a point to where we're actually looking at exercising some program, having to apply for permit or approval.
One of the things I talked to John, the fact that we weren't involved in a lot of those was that he said, why have the board if you guys aren't? And he said, he values our opinion, so he does want that part of it. So, okay.
Yeah, and I'll talk to him and see how the process. There was kind of a process, but we can certainly adjust.
Terrific. All right. Next meeting. Is there more?
No, just that we'll be talking. We already brought it up. We'll be talking. Frankly, I don't know how involved that this group wants to be with the Flex Ride project, the BRT project that's in design. Certainly, this person's going to talk to them, wants to talk to various groups. They can certainly talk to this one because they won't get to the business part until July.
Okay. I mean, it seems to me that interesting to know.
Bus rapid.
Yes.
And Flex Ride, I mean, there may be something we can do to help promote that, but really kind of in the hands of Mobilize, who's the Flex Ride sponsor, because the business park can talk to their employees, but really the people that need to know about it are the people that are going to be looking at jobs here that come from the conscribed area, which is in South Milwaukee, that we're looking to attract, take the jobs. And so that's where the promotion is.
Now, if these are the same guys that came to the chamber, they were piloting a couple, like up to Menominee Falls or something like that.
Right. Yep. In Tulsa.
They done it, and has it worked?
Yep. And it's been successful.
That would be nice to know.
Right. Okay.
And then the investment that Franklin has to make in that is what?
I think we're members of Mobilize, but beyond that, all we have to do is help them when they're looking for contact information, which we go and find for the areas that they're looking at. And now we worked with them in business park to get them the contact information for business park, Franklin Business Park.
Right.
I did send them information about the other business centers in the city. And they weren't quite ready to jump on that until a couple months ago. It kind of did that. They didn't actually invite all those people. They may have invited all the businesses in Franklin to that grand opening or the grand launch that they did in Oak Creek. They used that launch as an opportunity to say, hey, it's here. You need to think about it. Because they want all the business centers in Oak Creek and in Franklin to find out and determine who needs rides.
Right.
Who's going to need to get rides.
And these are vans, not buses. Is that right?
Yeah, they can be smaller vans, not real large vans. I think they might have a couple of large, 15 passengers.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's like 12 to 6. And I hate to liken it to Uber because it goes to specific locations.
Is it going to go to a specific?
Yeah, it'll go to specific locations.
Like an Alice Roller or go to?
Well, yeah, it'll drop people off at different points in the business park. Yeah.
I thought they were going to have like a stop over there by IKEA, and now
That's BRT. That's way down in the future. This is kind of the intermediary part of it, which will continue after the bus rapid transit is set up. That's a fixed route.
right.
This is going to be
Flexible.
Yeah, it's going to be flexible. It's going to adjust and go to centralized locations where the demand is. There's 3 or 4 businesses on that street. And then there'll be another street that it goes over to. And we'll drop off those people there. And so it also will stop at the daycare first for those
So you can,
folks that
so you can bring a child on the.
Yep, and actually start with those people who get there. And get to the daycare, it'll be free. They might have to pay to get to the work from that link on. So they'll stop at the
Yeah,
daycare
yeah,
and then take them to the.
There's a question about the bus rapid transit. What is the proposed route for that?
Proposed route is basically down from Milwaukee down 27th, South Milwaukee, and then it turns at Drexel and heads to IKEA, and there's a loop in there. There's a planned street that doesn't exist yet, where it will loop back up, become around that way. And so we are trying to get them to extend that to the business. And the studies that were done with Sewer Pack, it was feasible to do that. We've debated it with them. So.
There already is a bus route. What color is it? Purple or green?
The purple, yeah, the purple line. Yep.
That's already doing that. So this would be, it just wouldn't have as many stops. Is that the difference?
Right. It would be, yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it would be fast. And it's geared more towards getting people to employment. This has been the
Right.
so it stops in the commercial area where there's, you know, the idea is they'll pick people up, you know, in southern part of Milwaukee,
Okay.
so we can tap into that labor force. And that's what it does going east and west. It takes from Milwaukee and western Milwaukee, that greater Milwaukee area. It takes up to west of Wabatt and Menominee.
I was somewhat familiar with that bus rapid transit downtown going out to the freighter. And it goes back at least 5 or 6 years. They were going to have this done in a few months. It's going to take a while.
It will, and you know, ultimately, this flex ride is going to be the last mile anyway, because people get dropped off at the BRT station, and they're going to have to get from there to work. So the flex ride will probably fill in there, but in the meantime, I think we need flex ride can fill in between the purple line,
Right.
and these places employment, because we've got really a huge concentration continuing to grow in the business park and the corporate park, which is essentially right next door. You almost touch Kitty. So we'll have to continue to try to get included one way or another. Find some alternatives.
And meanwhile, I know this is a little bit of quite off the subject, but if Franklin had better housing for people who want to work in the business park, it wouldn't be as much of an issue. But Franklin doesn't have that kind of housing.
Right. Yeah, and it's
Anyway, that's
there's a lot of factors. You know, willing developers, buyers of land, sellers of land,
exactly.
sellers finished housing.
Any update as to Northwestern? Anybody looking at it?
You know, that's kind of been above my pay grade right from the start. So we'll have to check it. And I let them know that.
Okay.
Do a meeting.
Okay. Gotcha.
My understanding. They're not moving out of there for
3
years.
Yeah.
So
It'll take
it'll just go into
Northwestern.
their portfolio, and whoever happens to need a large complex at that time will probably.
It'll probably get. I mean,
Oh yeah, it'll get
divided in two.
Well, maybe, but whatever. Maybe places. Whatever, but
Or
It'll get utilized.
yeah, It could just be a building they lease.
That's what I'm saying. It just goes into their, I mean,
Right.
these aren't the only buildings Northwestern Mutual owns.
Right.
They own a lot of buildings.
Yeah.
Them out. I mean, that's part of the game. So,
And they know what
why
they're
everybody got so upset about it. It's like, really, end of the day, they'll get utilized. Pretty sure that the guys at Northwestern Mutual are smart, so they don't need buildings just.
Yeah, no, I guess the thought was who, what, and where with, like.
Well,
I mean,
I get it,
that
but
kind of stuff.
3
Kinda
years
nice,
out,
yeah.
no.
Well, I understand they're moving folks out though already.
Well, no, I get that,
Yeah,
but I
that's
mean,
right.
eventually, when it's empty,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Part of the reason is the movers. I know who they are, and they're moving out floors pretty good, so it's.
oh, it's, yeah, no, I understand that, yeah, but it's supposed to be out in 3 years.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. All right. Anybody else got any questions for John? All right.
Thing, with Northwestern Mutual. A lot of people that live here in Franklin continue to live here. What are we talking about for a commute? 20
18
minutes.
minutes.
at most? I mean,
I used to do it.
that's not a commute at all in some places.
In some place.
I mean, in an urban area. So people aren't going to be losing their job. They go back. They work inside. Okay.
All right. We're scheduled for our next Monday meeting, July 27th. Okay. Anybody got a motion to close this up here?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? We're adjourned.
All right.